Pinkie Pie, the element of laughter. Okay, yeah, laughter sounds cool, but what she really is the element of happiness. All throughout My Little Pony, Pinkie on the surface looks like a comic relief character, but the second you look any deeper, and you will find a very fascinating narrative of character growth for her when you watch her direct episodes. She not only learns how to be responsible from the Cake Twins, she generally learns how to deal with a bully, killing them with kindness and not rage when she confronts Gilda at the party and was actually generally trying to give her a good time. While most of the time she is arguably a background comedy character in the other episodes, she does learn right along with the rest of the main six how to be a Oh god, I have listened to that song enough. Cut it out! Sorry about that. I'm still a guy and can only take so much magical rainbow singing ponies. Okay, the fact that that is a sentence that comes out of my mouth, I love my life. Among all episodes she's in, this is her ultimate test. And while sure, we all love the Smile song from Season 2, A Friend Indeed, that episode has ironically become hers and the fandom's unofficial theme song. Frankly, that episode shows her in the worst light though. But this episode, Season 4, Episode 11, without a doubt, her greatest test. And today we're going to break down exactly why. Wait. Is that... It can't be. Weird Al Yankovic? Okay, you're telling me this guy plays a pony? Alright. Well, of all things I expected to see when I started this show, this was something I never expected. Ever. And you want to know something even crazier? The fact that not only did the fandom ship these two, but I'm not even kidding, the show decided to make it canon. Alright, what the hell? You make this canon, but not this? Seriously! We see way more chemistry between Discord and Fluttershy than we ever do between these two. Honestly, if not for the events of the last episode of MLP, I would have chopped this up to a crack ship and nothing more. And yeah, hello, I'm Discord J Knight. And shipping is not the subject of today's video, but I had to mention this because this is one of the weirdest parts of MLP, is the fact that Pinkie actually ends up with cheese. And honestly, doesn't that just make sense considering it's Pinkie? I mean, after all, it's Pinkie. No, today we're going to be looking at this as Pinkie Pie's most important test. Something I really appreciate about MLP is how they set up their seasonal arcs. Season 1, they had a little one, but they were testing the waters. And so, despite having a very loose structural narrative, they made sure you could watch any episode of Season 1 out of order and usually get to the gist of the story. Season 2 had absolutely none whatsoever, and despite having two of the best villains in the entire show, that being both Chrysalis and Discord, it comes off so disjointed in terms of structural narrative, in terms of an entire seasonal story. But there are plenty of what I call one-off standalone episodes in Season 2 that are great, making up for the lack of seasonal arc in that season at least. But Season 3 actually did have a seasonal arc, small as it may be due to it literally being half the length of a normal season. It did have a really good story. But after testing the waters and understanding really what to do and not to do, they finally went all in on a one giant overall arcing narrative for Season 4, and I love it because of that. And because of that, it gives us such a dramatic payoff. And honestly, I say Season 4, Season 5, and Season 6 really do it justice. Once you get into Season 7, 8, and 9, Yes, they do have an overall arcing story, but it gets so muddled by so many characters that later on it really just kind of falls apart. At least season 4, 5, and 6 really do it properly. From the way Discord starts out as a guy trying to be a friend, convinced that his so-called friends never actually like him, thus giving Tyrek the ability to trick him. Yes, we'll talk about that more in a later date. To figuring out the question of the mystery box and the Tree of Harmony, this season is without a doubt one of the best seasons, and it's why this season is no joke my favorite season of the entire series. This time, it's Pinkie's turn, and I really like how it starts. Pinkie Pie essentially is throwing a party for Dash's birthday, but when an outsider joins in who can actually party twice as big and twice as hard as Pinkie, the competition becomes fierce. Pinkie, believing she might not be as good at parties as she thought, nearly gives up on herself. And speaking personally, like I do in all these videos, God, let's face it, these videos aren't about MOP. No, they're really about a dumbass 30-year-old realizing through a kid's cartoon about talking magical rainbow-colored ponies how messed up my life is. No, but seriously speaking, everyone, including myself, has had the moment of being good, if not the best around, right? And then someone else comes in and proves you're actually pretty average at best. Honestly, that's what I felt like when I was drawing as a kid. I could draw decently, sure, and I felt like I was the best. I had confidence in myself. But that quickly diminished when I saw other kids with better art, and eventually I did give up. I gave up till actually quite recently, when I realized the problem isn't competition, it's drive. And there's a balance you can use. There's a strange balance you have to find. You can use comparison to realize your flaws and do better, but you don't have to focus on it so much that it destroys your self-image, and finding that balance is very difficult. We are all not on the same road despite walking close together. We all run at our own paces and we're all on our separate paths. The problem starts when you stop running, which is exactly what I did when I was like 9, 10 years old, and wish I never did, and now eventually that changed once I got to 26 years old and started this channel, and here we are, right? Quickly improving my skills with each work I do. I wish I did what Pinkie did. Maybe if I wasn't so stubborn and actually watched this episode when I was younger, I would have maybe figured out that lesson a lot sooner because of this episode. She decides she doesn't want to give up, though. She decides to just challenge him to a goof-off. Of course she has a rule book for that. How can the book pony not have a rule book for every situation? At least she's consistent, I'll give her that. Now we got the goof-off, and this is the ultimate test. Is she going to give up on herself? Is she going to win? And then the episode shifts dramatically when during the goof-off, she realizes something. This doesn't matter. None of it. Not her feelings of jealousy, not her comparing or her rage towards Cheese. No, what matters is Rainbow Dash. It is, after all, Rainbow Dash's birthday. And the birthday girl isn't enjoying herself. The test becomes something else. This test isn't about her on the verge of giving up anymore. It's about if she can give up her pride and arrogance and selfishness to do what's right for a friend. Pride is honestly a horrible sin. It creates arrogance and inflated egos. She learns to let that go in this episode and decides to do what's right. She is, like I said in the beginning of this video, she is the element of happiness. And no, not self-happiness. She only truly is happy when she can share that happiness with others. And no matter who won, if she didn't set aside her own ego right now, Dash would have had a horrible birthday. And it's funny because Dash is usually the one who is most prideful and egotistical. But really, giving this to Pinkie, showing that she isn't just this bubbly, one-dimensional, goofy character, but that she has a heart, she has her own flaws. That's right, she's not. We're not flawless. Cut it out! Anyway, it makes your character 10 times better. That is Pinkie's ultimate test. And I have to, without a doubt, give this an absolute 10 out of 10. I also like how this episode, ends up with Cheese Sandwich telling Pinkie about his own backstory and how Pinkie actually is the one that inspired her. And I do like that whole type of arc for Cheese Sandwich as well, trying to impress Pinkie. It's so goofy, it's fun, and I really enjoy the fact that at the end, both Cheese Sandwich and Pinkie work together to make Dash's birthday the absolute best. And it honestly has a fantastic lesson of how to overcome pride and not be selfish. Don't forget, my friends, put aside your pride, be selfless, and friendship is magic.
Fat, fat, fat. Come on, really fat.